It's Week 18 of the National Football League. And coming up, it's Zay Flowers, who's topped the 1,300-yard mark receiving on the year. It's the Ravens and the Broncos, next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're hot as can be, winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you'd call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
And off we go from Denver. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They begin the drive with Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
To throw is Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Runs through the contact. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now this defense for the Ravens, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Look at this Baltimore defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Jerry Jeudy, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely, could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now it's Jackson rolling to his left. The quick feet by Jackson. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Mitchell will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
On 2nd down, Williams. Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taken in at the 22. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
They go play action with Jackson. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. 7-7, our score after 1. From the 21, here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They go play action now. Jackson. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks will tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Again, it's Williams. And Williams is going to pick up a Broncos 1st down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And they're waving pressure too much. Down he goes. Patrick Queen from his outside linebacker spot gets him down there for a loss of 4. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Well, 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 30-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 42 yards. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that.
Touchdown! Zay Flowers. A 22-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. Here's Wilson to throw. And incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Throwing is Wilson. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And he is going to lose yardage here. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Zay Flowers and his offense about to begin their next drive, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 33 yards that time.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
2nd and 5. Here's Jackson to throw. Being chased out left. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Martavis Bryant as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2nd and 10.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll begin up in the Steel City, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, where you see the final score there.
Only 2 quarters of football left in the regular season. Everybody's excited to get to the playoffs, so excited that we're just going to skip right over halftime and get back to the action. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Zay Flowers and the Raven offense back onto the field. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
It got his man complete. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Zay Flowers, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. Well, here we sit, week 17, just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is brought in at the 21. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Zay Flowers and his offense about to begin their next drive. And I think we both agreed he could have a really good game with this matchup, but over 200 yards now.
I don't think we saw it as that good. And I think what really makes it special is when games like this are occurring, it's not just getting locked in and in the zone and on a roll. It's continuing to adjust throughout the game because, you know, the defense is kicking coverages towards him, trying their best to slow him down, and he keeps getting the better of them.
Yeah, whatever they've done, it hasn't worked.
Holding offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Harris, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Wilson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL,
nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Patrick Queen able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And now here come the Ravens. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Now Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling. Held it to an okay gain.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
But it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in, went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. And he'll take this down to the 33.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. 2nd down and 6 now. Now it's Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. Zay Flowers, 33 yards. And the Ravens are able to extend their lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
38. Broncos 10.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos about set to go on offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On the counter, here's Williams. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Screenplay set up for Williams. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Second and 6 at the 42-yard line.
Here's Wilson. Floating one, incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Throwing again here, Wilson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. Zay Flowers and the Raven offense back onto the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our...
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to...
And he coughed it up. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances. And that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. But it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, this game was already decided, Charles, let's be honest. But now another feather in the cap of this defense as they pick them off for the second time.
You're right about that. Things have been going pretty well for them, to put it mildly. But they're still out there hunting for big plays and get another one right there.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And the Ravens are going to have a first and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him. It should open up things for you.
Dobbins will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Tucker with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback. And they'll begin at the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now it's Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Wilson will throw again. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Zay Flowers and his offense about to begin their next drive. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, They often stay on the field longer than you expect.
First down, here's Mitchell. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
180.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. 20! And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flowers. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 9-yard line.
A handoff from Mitchell running left. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Out quickly to Judy. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here 2nd and a yard from the 34. To throw is Wilson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time.